More and more stuff keeps coming out about Velma. I'm going to go over it. There's a reason that this show isn't doing well. And it's not just the critic scores and the audience scores. No, there's actually a lot more to it. And I want to show you some of that now. So, when you see who's behind the show, are you really surprised why Velma is failing with the audience? Now, what is TD here talking about? Well, let me show you. So he's showing you this. And then this. Production. The producer of this show is Candace Rudder. Why does that matter? Why does it matter that Candace Rudder is the producer? Well, you would have to know who she is. And she's worked on 4 canceled shows. I say 4 now because Velma is bound to get canceled. There's no way I see this show moving forward with such typical modern humor. White Yahtzee. I'm sure this is going to be a massive hit. But Candace Rudder has been the genius behind several shows. Thundercat's Roar, Scooby Doo, The Sword and the Scoob, and Aquaman, King of Atlantis. 2 of these shows, complete dog shit, by the way. Aquaman, King of Atlantis, Max original, didn't go very far. Nobody liked this pile of shit. And then, of course, Thundercat's Roar. Remember this show? Remember all the people behind this show? This is one of the main problems with Hollywood. And I've said this time and time again. People fail upwards. So you take someone from a shitty show, and Thundercat's Roar, make no mistake, is a garbage show. And you give her another show, and another show, and another show. It's like, well, you failed. You've only failed 5 or 6 times. 20th time's the charm. Seriously, it's what it seems like it is at Hollywood. As long as you know the right people, you're friends with the right people, you got the right ideology, you don't do anything where you could get canceled, walk the straight line, support the right causes, you're in. And it doesn't matter if you fail and make shitty entertainment over and over again, you get to stay in the industry. You get to stay in the business. And that's exactly what this is a great example of it. Yeah, I didn't even see this. So thank you for bringing this to my attention because it is worth pointing out. I mean, look at this. The same shit over and over and over again. Thundercat's Roar, King of Atlantis. Thundercat's Roar, that is, I don't know, what would be worse, Velma or Thundercat's Roar? I don't know. What I do know is this person in the right timeline would have been fired from entertainment and would never be allowed to work in the industry again because she's made nothing but shit several times. We don't live in that timeline. We live in the timeline of rewarding failure. And that's why we have bullshit like Velma. Now, this isn't the only thing going on. There's more. People are also blasting it because the characters are sexualized and they're all 15. They're all young. Ruh-roh. Mindy Kaling's new Scooby Doo spinoff Velma is slammed as a massive disaster, with fans railing against over-sexualization of unlikable 15-year-old characters. Velma has been slammed by viewers with an 11% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Viewers claim the HBO Max series veers too far from the Scooby Doo franchise. That is the truth, 100%. Others complain the 15-year-old version of the Scooby Gang is over-sexualized. Kaling stars in the series and has become a controversial figure in recent times. I didn't even know that. Is she controversial because she makes dog shit entertainment? That would make sense to me because nothing that she's made has been funny. The only time she's ever been funny is when she was on The Office, and that was other people writing her stuff, not her. That's the only time. Everything else that she's done has been shit. Garbage. And this is another example of that, where her and her buddy self-insert herself into the show. So here's what some people are saying. Here's the cast. It doesn't matter if you do any voice work. You got to look like the character. Let's take a look at what some people are saying here. Take away everything you loved about Scooby Doo, add cringy dialogue, and make all the characters unlikable, and you have the new Velma series in a nutshell. This trailer for the new Velma series has over 100,000 dislikes, which should pretty much tell you that nobody wants this. Showrunner really just slapped down Scooby-Doo names, but none of them are actually their characters, just blatantly using the franchise name for their own show when it has nothing to do with Scooby-Doo. The sad thing is an adult Scooby-Doo adaptation could really work if they actually stayed true to the characters and the Mystery Gang's dynamic instead of being edgy for the sake of being edgy. My only real thought on Velma, just from the trailers, is that it does not seem to come from a place of loving or even at all enjoying the source material. It's a strangely mean-spirited twist with seemingly no effort made to understand its own basis or fandom. Man, everyone hates this show. Daphne is not a mean girl. Fred is not an insecure man-baby. Shaggy is not worried about being a beta. Scooby exists. One of the best parts of Scooby-Doo is the gang's sense of family and friendship. They love each other. The new Velma show is appalling to change that core relationship. Then we have the complaints about sexualization. No shade against Velma, but I can't be the only person a bit weirded out at adult animated comedies taking place in high school starring characters that are like 15. Another one says Velma was just boring and funny and sexualized teens. They're literally 15 through 16. I saw the first episode to give it a chance. I'm not going to watch the rest. I was bored 8 minutes in. And it's basically a self-insert ruining of the Scooby Gang minus Scooby. Another one says, bottom line, it's not the Mystery Gang. It feels hollow, and it's another show about high schoolers. Velma's 15 here doing drugs and getting in sexual situations because it's an adult show. And there's more. It looks like Velma is shaping up to be a massive disaster. Note how it says she's 15. Now look at the sweater caption. Also, the first pic of the show was of a naked Daphne. So they're sexualizing minors, and the writer is, phobic. It is a Riverdale Scooby-Doo. So now you got that going. This show is a disaster. This is not appealing to the crowd they wanted to appeal to. They wanted to appeal to the woke crowd with this. And they're not liking it. They hate it, which is funny because you would think that this would be a show that they love, but they hate it. In fact, now they're calling it transphobic, and some people are calling it CP stuff. So this is this is such a disaster for HBO Max. What the hell is David Zaslav thinking? Because for the most part, I think he's done a pretty good job business-wise and making sense of some things. But letting this show run was a disaster. This is nothing but negative attention. And I'm sorry, but people do say good, or there's no such thing as bad news. But I think this is bad news. Like, this is just more shit that they didn't need on their plate. It would have been better to just cancel this show, even if it was already completed. You should have just canceled it. I promise you it's going to get pulled from HBO Max because no one's going to be watching it. I bet you that happens within the next year or so. They take this show off of HBO Max, which they're not afraid to do. They pull all kinds of shit off of HBO Max now because nobody watches it. So I could see them doing it with this. But what a disaster this is. This is such a disaster. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Also, check out my Rumble and my Locals. Especially my Locals, doing some giveaways at the end of the month, giving away one CGC comic book and also some other ones just for following. So check it out. Follow me over there. Also, if you would, please like this video, share this video. Make sure that you hit that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.